Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Morning Leap session for Tuesday, August 2nd, 2016. My name is Doug McKay. I'm the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together and take a look at the market, macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market, and then we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses for the day. This is a subscription room, so if you're interested in checking it out, just send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website, there's no blog, this isn't a commercial venture. We do this live in the go-to each morning, and then we do live trading and analysis during the course of the trading day. Before we get going, please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. All right, so yesterday, our main hypothesis, which continues to be the same, for the last, 10 days or something like that, as we hang out in this balance, was a move down into the 60 level, find responsive buyers, and then rotate up through and go and make a new RTH high and go and attack this 2177.75 and equalize the unequalized high. That was hypo 1. So we got hypo 1 played out, but then part of the of yesterday's session we talked about the possibility of a false breakout, and I said if we failed to break above the 72 area, the 71.75, and hold, then we could see a false breakout and a rotation down in towards that 58, 59 area, and see if we held there, and if not, we'd be looking for a move down into the 53 area. So we got basically hypo 1 and hypo 2, a portion of both playing out. And then once we got down, we held that 59.75. We just basically chopped around the microcomposite VPOC, which is at 60.75. So, I mean, yeah, trading opportunity here, which I took. I missed this trade. And by the way, this was a very, very classic FUBAR Mr. Sneaky tech gap, and I had actually stepped away. I got back and we were already down back at the 21.69 level by the time I got back to my desk, and I wasn't going to chase it, and I missed this beautiful move down. And then it just got sideways action, and being the first day back from vacation, I just didn't do much trading after that. So each morning, as you know, I like to start my morning and just use a candlestick chart. Start with a monthly, work my way down to a intraday, and I use a 9 EMA and a 20 SMA, and I'm simply looking at where are we within the trend. And there's a line here, I know, I'm going to show it to you in a minute, on a smaller time frame. I'm looking for slope and separation where it's violated. You see we had a beautiful trend on the monthly, end of 15, we violated it, took it back. Beginning of 2016, we violated, took it back, and now we're trading near all-time highs. We're getting slope and separation to the upside and the possibility of a continuation pattern. We don't even come close to challenging the trend on the monthly until we get down to that 2086.20. Going to the weekly, you can see we've got good slope, good separation. We do have this this technical gap. A move to close the technical gap on the weekly is going to be down in the 21.2650 area. But right now, we're creating a possibility of a little bit of a flag pattern here on the weekly, and we just can't seem to pull back. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. This is the first time it's looking like could be a potential bearish week, but it's still only Tuesday, so don't get your hopes up too high or get your bear hat on too quick. Going to the daily, you can see that we're basically going sideways in this consolidation. We've had 13 days of this balance that we're in. We're losing slope and separation. They are right now below the 9 EMA, so we are challenging the trend on the daily, but we really don't violate it until we get below 2150. I'm looking at the line in the sand now is at 49 and a quarter. Anything below 49 and a quarter, I'm going to start getting very short. I'm going to build a swing short position for a move down towards that 2114.50 and possibly the 2086, 2084 area. But right now, we're going sideways in consolidation, but we are challenging the trend on the daily. Going to the intraday, you see that we've closed below the 9 and the 20. We're right now in the symmetrical triangle. It's kind of a symmetrical triangle, but to me, that this upper trend line and this lower trend line is going to be key. I mean, if we get above it, we got to get above that 65.50. That's going to be very important to us today, and the 57.50 is going to be very important for us to the low side. So right now, we're seeing the possibility of a start of a downward trend on the 4 hour. On the 1 hour, we had, in Globex on Sunday night, we had this FUBAR Mr. Sneaky Tech Gap, and that could, be the start of a bigger move down. You can see that we've had a pretty big move down from that. I mean, it did go and make a new high after the FUBAR Mr. Sneaky. Whether or not your risk parameters would allow you to stay in it, I didn't take it. But we do have a pretty strong downward continuation pattern. We had the initial move down, they challenged it, they failed. Now we're getting continuation with slope and separation, and we're going sideways right now to close this technical gap on the FUBAR Mr. Sneaky. So we are seeing some weakness coming in overnight. Going to the 30-minute, same thing. You had a Mr. Sneaky here, and then we just getting this continuation pattern, and we tried to get above the 9, but we're failing so far, and we're right back around that microcomposite VPOC at 2060. And then on the 15-minute, see the 15-minute, we're now trying to get back above. We're above the 9 and the 20, so we're getting sideways consolidation within this symmetrical triangle, and chopping around in this level. Going to the 5-minute, I wanted to point this out, and I did take this trade last night, is this right here, FUBAR Mr. Sneaky technical gap that led to turn, and unfortunately I didn't get very much of it. I got down to 67.50 and closed it out. But big sell-off in Europe. Once Europe opened, big sell-off, and then sideways consolidation. We're below, well, we're trying to break below the 9. We have a naked cross right here at 2059.75. Likely if we can't hold above the 2060.50, you'll see that naked cross getting taken out. And so right now we're kind of going sideways on the short time frame, and start of a possibility on the mid time frame, and still in an uptrend on the larger time frames. Taking a look at the structure, so we see this balance that we're in. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 days inside of this microcomposite VPOC. Our weekly ATR, 20-period ATR, is running at 49, but we've been really, in the last few weeks, tightening it up to around between 20 and 30. Our microcomposite VPOC is 2160.75. There's not much. It's starting to mature the auction here. The 64 and a quarter shifted up into the 65.50. It's more apparent on the RTH and the Globex profiles, but just shifting that. I mean, the 64.25 is our microcomposite VPOC. I'm sorry, value area high. I'm sorry, no, it's not. It is 60. It is 65.25. The high of this day, the fractal high was 64.25. So definitely use the 65.50. Right now, I'm using 57.50 because of the trend line and the overnight low for move down to test the value area low here at 54.75. And then if we can't hold that, then I'm looking for a move down to test the key line in the sand, which is the 49.25. And anything below 49.25, I think we'll finally get our bigger move down, at least down to the 46, 45.50. But I'm thinking a bigger move down towards that 21, 26 and the 14.50, coming back and closing these gaps down here. If we can hold above the 57.50, maybe even dip down to the 54.75, find buyers and rotate up through the 65.50. 65.50 is now going to become my key line in the sand to the upside for a move to test this high again at 72.75 with the immediate target above that 67 CHVN, sorry. And then, of course, if we get above the 72.75, I'm targeting that 77.75, the Globex all-time high. So going over to the RTH, I mean the Globex session. Now, again, we're in a scenario where the overnight low is not too far away. We still have 30 minutes to go, so we could put in a new overnight low. But right now, we've got an overnight high at 71. So they were unable to go up and challenge that 72.75 in the Globex session so far. We've got a bit of a triple distribution going on in the Globex, and our VPOC right now is 59, but it could shift up to 59.75 or 60.50 if we just chop around in this lower distribution. But right now I'm going to put it in at 59, knowing that it could shift. And I'm going to put the overnight low in at the 57.50. That's right at that Friday low. So we held Friday low. And then we've got this LVN that starts at 62.75 all the way up into the midpoint at 64.25. But I'm really watching the 65.50, maybe even the 66.50 to be careful. But, you know, we had, the one thing I wanted to show you is we had a P-shaped profile on Friday, and then we had a B-shaped profile. So we're effectively auctioning both sides of this. And then we came right down to the POC from Thursday on Friday and in the Globex session, and have held and rotated up into that microcomposite VPOC. So taking a look at this, first of all, our 20-period daily ATR is running at 1881. So that puts our daily ATR down at 52.25 to the downside. To the upside currently off of the 2157.50. Our upside daily ATR target is 2176.50, so just below the Globex all-time high. Our LVN 2162.75. And then there's another one right here at 66.25, and that is right at the midpoint and the value area high. So this is going to be a trade area definitely. But if you want to be aggressive, you could take the 65.50. If you take a look at Friday's P-shaped profile, it was that 65.50, and then the taking a look, we don't need this anymore, so we can move that over. Taking a look at the composite, you've got the 65.50. So aggressive, you want 65.50. If you want to be safe, wait for us to break above the midpoint and the value area high from yesterday's RTH session. 61 is value area low, so I'm going to use the 61 up to that LVN, I'm sorry, to challenge the LVN. So I'm going to use 61 as a trade area and target the LVN and hope that we break through and go up into the 64. Our naked close is 64.75, so we've got the naked VPOC and the naked close, right on top of each other. We're currently trading right now at 60.50. The 59.75 does not offer us anything, especially with the overnight VPOC. So you really want to be using the 61. And if we get above 61, look for them to push through to the 62.75 and hopefully continuation. But below the 61, the key level is down here at 57.50, and below 57.50, looking for a move down into the 53.50 and the daily downside ATR target, with our key line in the sand at 49.25, targeting that little microcomposite HVN at 50.50. And then our next big target below the 49 is the 45, 46 area, which is got the naked VPOC and the naked close, and another gap close there. And then our next key line in the sand is 38.25, and this I think confirms a bigger move down from that 49.25 and a move more likely down into our weekly downside ATR down at 21.2875 with 26 as support, and below that a move down into this cluster between 22.25 and 14.50. And then we've got the scene of the crime for Brexit as well down there at the 21.06.25, which is likely going to get tagged if we do get down there. And then to the upside, above the 66.25 or the 65.50, whichever you prefer to use. Personally, I would use it as a slush zone between the two, and then target that 67. I'm going to actually use the 68 because that's the open and the HVN up here. But you could certainly use the 67 and front run it. And then above that, I'm looking for a tag of the 71. I'm going to use the IB high from yesterday at 69.50 as an add-on capability if I am running long into the 71, and then look for continuation up into targeting 72, and then using the breakout up above at the 72.75. And then anything above that, I'm looking for that 76 and 77.75 area. There is I don't know why my measured moves are not here. There is another measured move. I put it in here yesterday. I don't know why it's gone. The measured move is 74, 74.25. I wonder if I can do this. Will it allow me to drag this over? Yeah, I dragged it all over, so that's okay. So flex levels are, I don't want the flex levels on my chart there. I've got a chart for it. I'm just going to put the measured move. Put the measured move in here myself. 74.25. I won't put the days in. If you want to know the days, I can give you the days. Okay, so that's our levels for the day. Let's talk about our hypotheses. Well, I hate to say it, but our hypotheses are going to change today. My main hypothesis for the day is we are going to open up either just inside of value or just below value or just below range. So I am looking for Hypo 1 to be an open auction in range or just out of range, a move up into the 64, between the 64.50 and the 66.50, possibly 69. I'm looking for sellers to step in, rotate us down, come down, test the overnight low, take out the overnight low, and push through down into the 53. I think that the fact that we had the false breakout and the failure to get over 72, 75 might show that the buyers are running out of inventory and that we might have to go lower and see if we can find buyers down here somewhere between the 53 and 49 area. So Hypo 1 is an open auction, just in range or just out of range. If we open out of range, I'm just going to amend it, call it Hypo 1A, and look for the possibility of failure at the 61, 59.75 to 69, and rejection of the range and the value, and a rotation down through the overnight low and down towards this 49 area, with 52 and a quarter being the key target on Hypo 1. Hypo 2 is an open auction just inside of range and or just outside of range, a push down, a dip below to take out the overnight low and find responsive buyers somewhere between 57 and a quarter and 53 and rotate back up through, chop around at the range low to the value area low, and then push up into the 64.50, 64.75 area, and then make a trip up through value at 66 and a quarter, chop there, and maybe get a late day probe up into the 67, 69, and get into this upper distribution here and close somewhere up here and get set up for a continuation. It is Tuesday, so we could get turnaround Tuesday, and that's why Hypo 1 is flipped with Hypo 2. Hypo 3 is we open auction just in range or just out of range, fail right away, go down, chop around, take out the 57, go down and hit the 49, and then chop around there, fail, and come down here and hit the 46. So Hypo 3 is an open auction, fail to get inside of value and range, come down, have a strong impulsive move down, chop around between 49 and a quarter and 53, and then fail and come down and tag this 46. Maybe even a move down into 38 if things get pretty ugly. And then Hypo 4 is an open auction in range. We hold the range, we move up, take out the naked VPOC and naked close, chop in the 66 area, continue up, take out the overnight high, and then break above the 72, 75, and go and hit that 76, 77 area and put in a possible late probe into a new all-time high in the equalization of that Globex and that RTH. That's it for the session. I'm not going to do gold. There's gold. The key level on gold is 71 to 70 right now. We're trying to get another breakout, but if we fail, I think we're going to slowly work our way back down towards the 55 level. Gold seems to be strong again in the overnight session, but it's made a pretty big run, so I think we're going to see some exhaustion here at 71. But if it gets above 71, it could pop all the way up. I'd target 77.90 and then the 85 and a quarter. If there's not much holding us up right now. This is not very good price acceptance here, so we likely have to come all the way back towards this 55 if they can't break out. Whether they do it today or not, we could just very easily chop around in the 1370 area and basically do nothing all day. So that's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.